And everyone else watching.
All right. Okay, perfect. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly. Can you hear me?
Awesome. Yes. Sounds
Very good.
All right. I'm
How you doing?
Awesome. Cool. Good morning or good evening, your time.
Yeah. Morning for you. Well, for me it's still nice because with the time change, it's still very clear and sunny, so it's good.
Yeah, it's been light very late here, which has been awesome. And it's finally like warm and sunny. It looked like it was really warm and sunny in Vienna as well. So I was like, oh, perfect picnic weather. It was awesome.
Yeah, so this is our second episode of Sweet Wine and Dessert Pairing.
Yes, very excited for this one. Totally different than the first one. For both the wine and the dessert. Went in a very different direction, which I'm very excited about because I love these flavors. So.
Yeah, I mean, while I was baking, I was feeling so hungry. Oh my God, it looks delicious.
The smells in my kitchen were just driving me crazy. I was like, I can't eat it until Friday. I have to save it. So yeah, I will be sharing it afterwards with everybody.
So should we reveal our mystery for today?
Oh my gosh, here we go. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, try to go first.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is, let's see if you can see it. Wait, tip this down so you guys can see it. So here is, or I'll just lift it up. This is the dessert, which is very heavy in every sense of the word. So it's,
yeah.
yeah, very much in every sense of the word. Got the inspiration because I ended up making some pecan pie bars a few weeks ago, and you were like, oh my gosh, this looks so good. And we were like, let's go in that direction. So this time it's also tart. That seems to be a theme that we're building on for these. But it's completely different than last time. Last time we did the yuzu tart with the sweet white that was amazing. And this one is a chocolate pecan crust, so really nutty, dark chocolate, a little bit bitter. And then it's filled with, really easy to do actually, filled with a chocolate sort of custard baked tart filling, and then topped with homemade caramel and toasted pecans, because toasted pecans are amazing. And that is it. That is the dessert. So.
Yeah. And thinking on the caramel and chocolate and all these nuts, the pecan nuts, I thought, what would go better than Tawny port?
Awesome.
So I decided to go for a 10-year-old Tawny. As you might many know, this is like an oxidized style of port wine, which is very caramelly and has like coffee aromas. So it's not so much the fruit side. It's more like on this tertiary aromas, as we call them in wine. So like, yeah, like caramel, coffee, chocolate, and all those.
Which is perfect. That's, yeah, they're gonna match really well, I think. So I know I ended up, you made the recommendation to get the smaller bottle, and I thought I did, and then this showed up.
Oh,
so a massive bottle. So I will be finding people to share this with in the next few days.
Yeah, and this one we managed to get the same wine, which is great because with the Sofian we didn't.
Yeah, this is absolutely perfect. It was so easy. Yeah, that worked really well. So even if you're in Europe or California or the States, this is super easy to find, which is awesome.
Yeah. And I see some people already writing the chocolate cards. That sounds incredible, especially with Porch. So I totally agree.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. Yeah, this is gonna be good.
I'm gonna show my cake, by the way, which is not so nice as yours, but
but that looks awesome. Oh yes, the homemade caramel on top. Oh, I love that you chopped up the nuts too. That looks
yeah, so I started putting them, and then I saw like, I still have some left over, but it was already so nicely put on the caramel. So I thought like, I'm gonna just chop it and like put it on top.
Perfect. I know it's kind of like you could do whatever you want with this. Like make it however you want. It'll always taste good because it's chocolate and caramel and pecans. So it's do whatever you need to do.
So I'm gonna open the wine because I actually didn't open it. And oh no.
Okay,
So
question for you, because I was looking this up. What glass is the best glass to use for port?
there's actually a glass which is called port wine glass,
Okay.
which is of course the perfect glass for port, definitely. But it's like a sweet wine glass. It's a bit smaller, a bit like higher because usually port, I mean, usually no, port always has like a lot of alcohol, so like 19,
Yeah.
20, 21% sometimes. So you don't want the alcohol like sticking into your nose, and you want to keep it cool. So it's like kind of thin but a bit long, so it has like
Yeah.
this shape. So like yeah.
Okay.
And usually the stills a bit short. Unfortunately, I don't have any, so I have just my.
I know. I don't. I just have this, which is shorter, but it's definitely not a port glass.
That's good. Anyway, yeah,
But it will taste good. I'm very
it
excited.
will taste good. So I'm struggling open the bottle. Here I am. Yeah, and we open the screw. Like what we call this fork. Oh, never mind. Anywhere. So let's pour a little bit. So you see from the color, it's like kind of, it's just a little bit red. I mean, this is called tawny, so it's like, yeah, tawny color supposed to be. Sometimes it can be even like browner, you know, because it's oxidized.
Yeah.
But yeah, this still has some red touch. And my cake, I already cut it, so just not actually a ring, but like it's already on a plate.
Yeah, I definitely. I don't know about you, but I did my caramel a little bit too long, so it got really like a thick caramel.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to use a heated knife, which I just put over the stove for a few seconds and just like sear through it to cut.
Okay.
So hopefully, and then I had it in the fridge, which was why it was so hard to cut. But okay, very excited. Yes, we have both ready to go.
Perfect. Yeah. This is mine. Here.
Okay, which one should we do first?
Yeah, let's try the cake because I cannot wait more for the cake to be so amazing. Like you guys have to check the recipe and it's really not so hard to do and I mean, I haven't tried it yet, but for the smell it was just so good. I wanted it to be the whole time.
The smell is just like, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, oh my gosh, here we go.
Mm-hmm. Mmm.
It was definitely a very rich breakfast for me.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's afternoon
Really
cake.
good.
It's fine. I can live with this.
Oh yeah, yep. I could totally eat this for breakfast every day, but my stomach would probably not be very happy.
Definitely.
Mm.
Mm. Mm. And as expected, it's very good. So the port has still some fruity or still some dried fruit aromas. So a bit of fig and yeah, like baked apple, these kind of aromas, but it's definitely like very caramelly and chocolate. So it goes perfect with the cake.
Yeah.
I'm super happy. It's perfect match. What do you think?
That's really good. I haven't had port in a long time, so that is it's just really nice.
Mmm.
Mm. And it almost makes the tart taste less sweet, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the darker chocolate, and the caramel, of course, is very sweet. But it's like, this is so warm and has these very older, sweeter notes that come in.
Mm-hmm.
Which are really good.
Yeah, definitely. And my caramel layer is a bit thinner because where you were saying mine ended up being like I can actually show you. It's not very thick. And I had the filling was pretty high, so I didn't want to pour more caramel so it doesn't like overflow.
Yeah.
But it's perfect. It's a perfect balance. And yeah, definitely tastes kind of lighter, less sweet with the port, but it's like in a perfect balance. So. Mm-hmm.
I remember you saying that the wine should always be slightly sweeter than the dessert. Which I've never heard before, but that makes total sense.
Yeah,
exactly. Feel like it's like sickly sweet. Yeah.
Otherwise, if it's the opposite, usually the wine would taste tartar or actually even sometimes like too tart, too sweet.
Bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not very pleasant. It's always better to have a bit sweeter wine. That's why it's better to, I mean, desserts or sweet wines. It's very hard to have like dry wines that definitely would go good with dessert. It's actually, I think, in my opinion, it's almost impossible. So you want to have to put it more with contrast rather than with similarities.
This is awesome. This is such a good pair.
Yeah.
So do you want to eat the whole thing, but I shouldn't.
I know. So do you want to explain a little bit how you made the cake?
Yeah. So this one is it's a press-in crust, which is super easy because I'm always terrified of rolling out gluten-free crusts because it's gluten-free as well for me, and I think because it's always a little bit iffy whether or not it's going to work. So this one's super easy. It's just like a crumb crust, sort of like how you would make a graham cracker crust, but really relying on ground up toasted pecans. You get more nuttiness in the crust, cocoa powder, and then ground up either like gluten-free Oreos or some other chocolate cookie that's without the filling. So the crust itself is great, super versatile. You could just fill it with anything else you want. The chocolate filling I've used once before in another chocolate tart, and it's so easy because it's essentially like making sort of a ganache and then adding tempered eggs, so it becomes more of like a custard, and then baking it, of course. So it's like this solid, like dark, rich chocolate filling. And then caramel's always one of those things where you're like, oh my god, caramel is so scary. But this one's pretty easy. This one, like, it is melting sugar, so it gets really hot. You have to be careful. But then it's pretty fast. Like, you don't have to wait too long. Oh no! Did you get burned?
Yeah, I got burned.
Oh no!
Because it looks so innocent, you know. And I was like, it was a bit stick on the corners, so I was trying to remove it. And then I had like a junk on my spool for the whisking. So I wanted to drop it with my finger, but it was so hot. So it was just,
hot.
It was something else in my mind rather than like what I was supposed to do.
Oh yeah, I have so many little burns everywhere. You're like, I'll just pick up this pan right now, and it's right into the oven. You're like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? All sorts of baking adventures. Be careful when you're making caramel. It does get really hot. But then it's pretty fast. You just whisk in buttercream, salt. So you can add more salt if you want more of like a salted caramel. This is kind of a normal caramel top, but it would be nice if you added more salt too. That'd be awesome. Yeah,
I think it would go very well as well. Yeah, I saw in the recipe there's some salt and the butter was salted. But mine also didn't turn out so salty, so it's rather on the sweeter side.
Yeah, you can put quite a bit of salt in caramel and it'll still be really good because it highlights the sweetness really well. This one I think we just put half a teaspoon, but you can do like a whole teaspoon. You can sprinkle flaky sea salt on top just for like a nice look for a finish to add some saltiness. And then of course toasted pecans. I always like toasting pecans, walnuts, whatever I'm using, just because you get so much more flavor out of them.
Definitely, in the kitchen, it smells so good.
Exactly. Yeah. The whole house is gonna smell great for the rest of the evening. Yeah.
So from the very first step, I was already feeling hungry.
Yeah. Like, oh dang, I need to eat something.
I know.
I want to bake. So pretty easy. I need to find some friends to go finish this bottle.
I know. I mean, the good thing of Tawny port is that it would last. I mean, it can take long. I mean, it will. The taste will be always less and less and less, but it won't go bad because it's already oxidized. So there's nothing. It can really go bad. That's a good thing of Tawny port.
So I can just keep this like out. Or should I keep it in the fridge or should I put it
in the fridge? Yeah, in the fridge. So you can either pour it and wait a little bit, or if you're gonna drink more, maybe just take the bottle out of the fridge for a while.
Yeah.
Before continuing, I'd like to say hi to some friends that are watching. They're all together. I've seen they've been commenting, trying some comments, and they say like the Spanish wine is the best. I mean, this is port wine from Portugal, neighboring country. But if you are definitely wanting to pair this with something Spanish, I will go for some sweet cherry, which is way sweeter, but it can still go very well. So port wine has around 100 grams of sugar. Sweet cherry can go, they're different, but it can go up to 400. So it's like You don't want to have like extremely sweet wine because this tart,
Yeah.
although there's caramel on top, it's not so sweet actually. It's like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's more of a darker chocolate. You could definitely do more of like a milk chocolate filling,
Yeah.
which would be a lot sweeter. So if you wanted to pair it with a much sweeter wine, then you could up the sweetness of the tart as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So definitely an oxidized wine like this would be good. So just to explain very short, I mean, I've seen many other people connecting are wine people that I know. They know all this very, very well, but still very short for everyone else. So port wine is basically when the grapes are harvested, they're pressed traditionally just standing on the grapes, and then they will the fermentation will start very, very, very fast because it's very hot in the Douro Valley in summer, or like beginning of September when the harvest is. So it will start fermenting, and the fermentation will be very fast. So like within 2 days, they will add some grape spirit. So like aguardiente, it's called in Portuguese and Spanish, and that will stop the fermentation. So you want to keep some sweetness from the grape juice or must that is fermenting, and then you will fortify it with this spirit. So you will kill the yeast, and the wine is gonna stop the fermentation. And this can be produced in two directions. So in direction of ruby, or for better qualities, late bottle vintage or vintage port. So it's like let's call it reductive style. So without much Amazon is coming, whatever. Yeah, always at this time. I'll pick up the package later. Anyways, so you have this ruby and vintage styles that are reductive with less air contact, so they will age in bottle. And you have Tawny styles that you will fill it in the barrels and they will oxidize over time because oxygen is gonna go through the barrel, and like it can be faster, slower. And this is a 10-year-old. It doesn't mean it was from 2011. This means just give me a second, sorry.
No worries.
Maybe we talk about it.
No worries. While he's doing that, I'll give you guys a peek at the tart again, because everyone who just recently joined missed it. So this is the dessert that we made, which is a chocolate caramel pecan.
You're out.
Perfect. I was giving them a look at the dessert again.
Sorry for the interruption. So we're gonna have to come this time, you know.
I know, yeah. All the deliveries made right now.
Yeah. Yeah, so this means the wine is blended to taste as a 10-year-old wine. So they actually have wines from different vintages that they are aged at a different stage, and then they blend all together like the winery thinks it would taste like after 10 years. And usually you will have like 10, 20, and 40-year vintages, like, old year Tawnies, sometimes 30, which is rather unusual, but yeah.
Okay.
And you can also have like vintage years, which are called Colheita, but this is really, really rare. It's more like, it's very difficult to find, and more like for people that collect wine.
Okay, that makes sense. Why is the 30-year less common than like a 20 or a 40?
I don't really know, but I guess it's like you have 10, then double is 20, and double is 40. So kind of my assumption, yeah.
Interesting.
Kind of took it in a second.
Yeah, the way they word it, it's 10-year-old versus like a vintage from this year. That does make a lot more sense.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything except for, you see in the back when it was bottled, 2018. This in mind. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have to say. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
I think it's 2019.
Yeah. Perfect.
19. Interesting.
Just give me a second.
No worries. Okay, let me show you this piece, if I can get it up here. I've now devoured half of this, but this was, there was the caramel chocolate tart. Very dark chocolate.
Excuse me, everyone.
No worries. I know my deliveries haven't started yet. We'll get a couple later today if UPS shows up, but we'll see. Oh, that's so good. I don't think I've ever had port with a dessert, which is terrible. because it goes so well with dessert.
It
I
does.
think I
Yeah.
just had it plain as like a dessert wine, but yeah, I've never had it paired with something, which is really nice.
It's a very versatile kind of wine. You can also even pair it with food, but like you have to be
Yeah.
careful. It has almost double, I mean not really, but almost double as much alcohol as other wines.
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
like unless you really want to feel it in your head, you'd rather have just less. So it's very
Yeah.
good to have a little bit with a dessert or
Exactly.
white port as a aperitif. That's also very.
Ooh. I did not
It's
even
not,
know there was white port. That sounds
I
really
know,
good.
right? It's not very popular. It's getting more popular. It's actually there's a
Okay.
cocktail which is called Port Tonic, and as the name
Ooh.
says, it's white port with tonic. It's really nice. It's really really nice. You should definitely try it.
Yes, I need to find out if I can find some here. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I need to write this down as well. I don't forget. Find some white port. I'd be so interested. Does it have similar tasting notes, or is it very different? Like, what would you eat with a white port dessert wise?
Mm, I haven't thought of it, to be honest. Well, white port is usually not as sweet as Tawny and reductive styles, so like
Okay.
vintage or ruby. Um, so definitely you can have something. You don't necessarily have to have something sweet with it.
Okay.
But it has, of course, a lot of body because it has a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
So it's rather the hard question. I would just have it like an aperitif, but what would I eat with it?
I kind of just want to try it by itself, but I'm curious. What
Yeah.
might go well?
Sorry, I cannot give you an answer now. I actually have to check what people write and maybe see like if
Yeah,
I can't really think of anything.
that sounds
Maybe like a really not sweet dessert would go good as well. Yeah. Maybe just some plain fruit or something like that.
okay.
Like, yeah, so like fresh fruit.
Yeah, really like clean and brighter. Definitely not this. This would not
No,
go well
not
with
this.
what it sounds like.
And if you have something similar with chocolate, and this is we're also thinking of that with chocolate and maybe coffee or some caramel, but you go for a bit of fruit instead of the nutty part, or like
Yeah.
I mean, you can also have nuts plus red fruits or black fruits or something fruits on top. You could definitely go for ruby ports, late bottle vintage ports, which are the other kind of the
Yeah.
spectrum, so the reductive styles.
Yeah, and you like some of the tasting notes mentioned fig, and I was like, ooh, that would be even like fig and chocolate. I have this really good fig jam, and I was like, that could actually be a really interesting top for this.
Yeah,
Instead of the nuts. It'd be really good.
fig will go actually well with both styles. So
Yeah.
that's
Oh, that's
also very
perfect.
good.
Yeah, fig is great. Anything with fig, I'm down for. Yeah.
Someone is writing, white port is sweet. It is sweet, yeah. So there, I mean, with toning styles and with reductive styles, so Ruby and all those, there's always gonna be like 100 grams of sugar. It's like not so much variation. But with
Yeah.
white, definitely have sweeter and drier. So you have, they call it dry white. It's not really dry. I don't know how much sugar it has, but I guess like around 20 grams or something like that. So it starts to feel a bit sweet. It's not super sweet, but like there's a bit of sweetness in it. And then there's like definitely sweet port, white port as well. But the one that's getting more popular is the less sweet one. That is the one you mix with tonic for a drink.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I never would have thought of that.
Yeah.
But it sounds really good. So what, just for reference for those who are not in the wine world, what is a normal, like just a regular red or a regular white level of sugar versus the 100 grams and above for port?
Yeah, so dry wines, it depends on the country and the appellation and also sometimes depends on the acidity of the wine. So in Germany, for example, Riesling
Yeah.
has a lot of acidity. So that will vary, but let's say it's usually from 0, which is never really 0, so like 0.5, 1 gram fresh sugar to 5, 7. That's the spectrum of dry. But like for experienced tasters, they can feel already if it's like 4, 5 grams or if it's just 1.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because yeah, usually like with this little amount of sugar would make the wine rounder, so it would make like let's say easier to drink. So for most of the
Yeah.
people, let's say most of the people that would drink the wine, it would be rather pleasant.
Okay. Interesting. That is a big. I mean, that's a huge gap. 4 to 5 versus 100 plus. Like
Yeah.
that is a big gap. But I mean, it never tastes too sweet though. It's
Yeah.
not like a sugary drink at all. It just tastes really nice.
And someone is right then. There's 100 grams liter sugar in white Porch. Yeah, definitely. As I said, you have from dry to sweet, definitely. But the one, at least as far as I know, that got more popular nowadays is the drier one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do need to figure out if I can find some here. I'll have to go online and see if there's any deliveries I can get for a white port.
Yeah,
once I finish this one.
Yeah, but yeah, you can keep this.
Yeah.
Up to 3 months in the fridge. It's gonna be fine.
Oh, perfect.
It's always gonna have less taste and so, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Does it just kind of get softer over time, or it's like the flavors will be a little bit softer in a couple months if I just leave it in the fridge?
Yeah, it will have less flavor. It would be a bit like blonder, you're gonna call it that way. So it's gonna be more, not so much intensity on the flavor. It would just lose, but it shouldn't really change.
Okay.
It's
I'm gonna keep this in the fridge then.
Yeah.
And maybe make another tart.
Yeah, for the next time. Yeah, definitely. You can make many tarts, and you can have the wine for a few weeks, and you can have a few glasses every week, and that's fine. You don't have to worry about like. Yeah.
That's all I need.
Yeah. Well, so I'm almost finished with my cake because it was so good.
I know I haven't had breakfast yet, so this is my first meal of the day. Chocolate and caramel. Not bad. And then I'm gonna go eat some real food. But yeah, for anyone in California, super easy to find, either online or probably fairly easy to find in stores as well. Just whatever store you have locally. This is awesome.
Port wines are basically dominated by a few big names and houses. They have pretty large production, especially for rather, I want to say like low quality, like basic sortiment. So if you're looking for a specific vintage port, like 40-year Tawny or Colheita, which is a vintage Tawny, it's maybe going to be more difficult to find in specific markets. But like names like Taylor's, Newport, Graham's, all those, you will find the rubies, late bottle vintages, 10, 20-year Tawnies pretty easily everywhere. So it's like, yeah, so you try one, you like the style from the house because they will always different depending on the houses. You can just find it usually everywhere. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Taylor's very much. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah. Super easy to drink, super easy to find. And definitely, this is like, I think the whole thing is fairly reasonable price-wise. So if you want to, and it's awesome. So you can have a few friends over and make a tart, have some port. Hopefully they'll help you drink more than what I've had today.
Yeah.
But yeah, super easy. I was saying last time, I never thought to pair any of the stuff that I bake with wine, which is so silly because I'm usually eating them after dinner anyway, or in the afternoon. And it's perfect paired with wine. Like the last one was just really nice. Last one was really springy and like summery, which would be perfect in the next couple months. Yeah.
Yeah, this is maybe like a rather winter thing or something, like heavier and so, but like.
Yeah. But honestly, chocolate anytime.
Definitely, so it depends on the person.
Any excuse to have chocolate is good. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. I should eat some real food other than this tart, but I'm just looking at this entire tart thinking I could just keep eating this all day.
Yeah, also if anyone in Vienna likes to try the tart or the port, yeah, I'm here.
Super easy.
Yeah.
Just
enough
don't burn
for
yourself on the
everyone.
caramel.
Yeah.
I know, I was looking to see if there are any last questions.
Yeah. That's it.
So, awesome. A bunch of people were able to join, which is great. Amazing. Chocolate custard sounds incredible with pork. Thanks, Natalia. It is a very good match. Definitely a good match. Cool.
Well,
I'm
so
now going to keep eating this for the next half hour. Awesome. Well, we have 2 more of these coming up in the next few weeks. So stay tuned. I don't know what direction we'll go in this time, but it'll be something totally different. And check out the first one that we did as well. If you want something less chocolatey or not chocolatey at all, totally different direction, check out the first one that we did, which was very citrusy and bright and springy.
exactly. So we're gonna try to give you different directions so you also can experiment yourself and you have like a one idea that you can pair with.
Yeah. Yeah, let us know if you come up with some great new combos based on what you're learning here. So it's always fun to find new ones.
Yeah, we're happy to listen to any inspiration. So if you guys have any recommendations, feel free to text any of us. And yeah, maybe we ended up doing something in that direction. So,
oh, totally. Yeah, any ideas?
We're very open.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Send us ideas. We need some ideas. Awesome. Well, cheers. Thank you so much. That was
thank you everyone for watching. I hope you have enjoyed our second episode.
There you go. Cheers.
Cheers.
So good.
Yeah. And hope to see you in 3 weeks this time, because in 2 weeks I will be not in Vienna, and we'll reveal
That's true.
in some stories in the future. But yeah, probably in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Awesome. Thanks everyone for joining.
Yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for the interaction. It was very nice. That
was super fun.
Yeah. We're happy to answer any questions you have or anything you'd like to say. We're happy to do that.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. And yeah, see you in 3 weeks, everyone.
See you in 3 weeks. For everyone. Awesome. Have a great evening. I will go start my day.
Yeah, have a great day. I hope you enjoy the day and have a good start of the weekend.
Oh, you too. Yeah.
Okay.
Very looking forward to it. Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone, for watching. Bye.